Good evening and welcome to the Channel Studios here in London with your international news around the world in 5. 5 railway stations have come under attack in central and western Ukraine, that's according to officials, with reports of casualties. The governor of Lviv region says a missile struck Krasny train station, but Ukraine seems to be striking back. Bryansk in Russia this morning, a logistics hub for the Russian war, looked more like a Ukrainian city. Its huge fuel depots on fire amid unconfirmed speculation of a Ukrainian strike.
Our strong support, our strong ongoing support for the Ukrainian government and for the Ukrainian people.
It comes after US Secretary of State Antony Blinken said that Russia is failing in all of its war aims in Ukraine after completing a short visit to the country. Washington's top diplomat and its defense secretary visited Kyiv on Sunday in the first official US visit to Ukraine since Russia invaded 2 months ago. The US has pledged a further $713 million in military aid to Ukraine and 15 allied and partner countries. Emmanuel Macron has vowed to unite France after winning 5 more years as president in a convincing victory over rival Marine Le Pen. He won by 58.5% to 41.4%, a greater margin than expected.
Merci, chers amis.
The centrist leader told jubilant supporters at the foot of the Eiffel Tower that now the election was over, he would be a president for all.
Après 5 années.
He is the first sitting president in 20 years to be re-elected. Despite her loss, Ms. Le Pen said her significant vote share still marked a victory. It was the far-right's highest share of the vote ever. Residents in the Chinese capital Beijing have cleared many of the shops' shelves as the city's biggest district began mass testing of all residents, prompting fears of a Shanghai-style lockdown. Authorities in Chaoyang province, home to 3.45 million people, late on Sunday ordered residents and those who work there to be tested 3 times this week, as Beijing warned the virus had spread in the city for about a week before being detected. It comes amid fears that Beijing could face a similar situation to Shanghai, which has seen 25 million people shut in their homes. The lockdown there has now dragged into a 4th week, a day after officials reported 51 new COVID deaths, the highest daily tally so far. The European Commission President has met with Indian Prime Minister Narendra Modi in New Delhi as the West steps up efforts to encourage India to reduce ties with Russia.
Yes, and very impressive, so they take a lot home, that's good.
It's after Ursula von der Leyen had held talks with officials in the Indian capital who have seen a flurry of top visits since the start of the Ukraine war. On a 2-day trip to New Delhi, she also held talks with the Indian Foreign Minister, who said they exchanged views on the economic and political implications of the Ukraine conflict. India has refrained from explicitly condemning Russia's invasion while calling for an immediate end to violence. Climate charity activists have sought to block a tanker from delivering Russian oil to Norway, chaining themselves to the vessel in a protest against the war in Ukraine. The Ust-Luga product tanker is currently anchored off ExxonMobil's oil terminal, some 70 kilometers south of the Norwegian capital Oslo. Greenpeace said activists arrived in a small boat and chained themselves to the tanker's anchor chain to prevent the offloading of an estimated 95,000 tons of oil.
Greenpeace is chained to the anchor chain of the massive oil tanker. Greenpeace is demanding from Esso and Norwegian government to ensure that this Russian oil is not imported to Norway. It fuels Putin's war in Ukraine. It's wrong.
A plan to reintroduce rhino species to the Zinave National Park in southern Mozambique, which became extinct there 40 years ago, have been announced. The governments of Mozambique and South Africa approved the reintroduction of more than 40 rhinos to a specially constructed high-security sanctuary within the 4,000 square kilometre park. The rhinos will be translocated from South Africa over a period of 1 to 2 years. And Twitter's shares have risen by more than 5% in pre-market trade on speculation that the firm could agree a takeover deal with Elon Musk imminently. The board of the social media giant is reported to have met with Mr. Musk over the weekend to discuss his $43 billion offer. Twitter had initially rebuffed Mr. Musk's approach, but according to reports, Twitter is now in the final stages of negotiations with Mr. Musk to buy the business. And that's your international news around the world in 5. Now back to the Channel Studios in Lagos.